2 years ago, the state legislature, led by then Assemblymember Paul Kokori, and now our great council member for the 2nd Council District and my good friend, created California's first ever film and television production tax credit program. The program planned to allocate $100 million a year for 5 years to help stem the tide of runaway production, TV shows and movies leaving California to film in other states. Each year, the California Film Commission would allocate tax credits by specifically targeting those shows and movies most likely to move out of California, as well as those that we could lure back here as well. While anecdotally we had heard the program was working, today, because of this report, we are able to say definitively that the tax credit program has been a resounding success. The independent economists at the LAEDC found that in the first 2 years of the program, 77 films and TV shows have received tax credits, and that they have helped to generate $3.8 billion. That's $3.8 billion in economic activity statewide, created by more than 20,000 jobs and over $200 million in tax revenues. For every tax credit dollar allocated, there's more than $20 pumped into the economy. This program has truly been a statewide stimulus package. As I said, one of the best examples of the program's success stands right behind us. You can hear from the clambering, the nailing, the drilling, the sawing that we're in full production, at least in terms of getting the set ready. The set that's being constructed for ABC's hit show Body of Proof, which will begin filming next month. The man who runs that show, and someone we are so happy to have back here in California, is executive producer Matthew Gross.
I have shot in Europe, Canada, Mexico, Minnesota, New York, Boston, Rhode Island, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, and Oregon, just to name a few. And I'm here to tell you, as a native California, I'm glad to be home. California has some of the best crews in the country because of these tax credits. We're putting them to work. Working with us right now at the studio building our sets are approximately 70 crew members. Next month, when we begin shooting, we'll hire 180 crew members for a minimum of 6 months, longer when we get the back order. We will spend nearly $20 million on payroll to our workers, including benefits, to their health care and pension plans. We will also use the services of approximately 1,230 different vendors. During this season alone, we will spend over $43 million in California, and that's a lot of money.
Thank you very much, Assemblyman Fuentes, for bringing us together for both a celebration and a challenge. The celebration being the great news that we're getting in the LAEDC report, the challenge being the challenge to all of us to continue that fight forward. So it seems to me a no-brainer, but being a no-brainer doesn't necessarily mean that it'll get passed in Sacramento. So that's why it's very important that everybody continue to press forward with this. And folks, you know, this is not a battle that's been won yet. So it's important that everyone who cares about this issue contact their senator and contact the governor to let them know that this is a huge priority for this state.
Some have questioned whether we could afford a tax credit program during these very difficult economic times. I think the better question is, with our statewide unemployment rate at nearly 12% and a program that's demonstrated success in creating jobs and nearly $4 billion in economic activity, how can we afford not to offer this type of job creation incentive program?
I'm thrilled to be, as the Beatles said, get back where you belong. Back in California, back where we can choose from a deep pool of talented actors, skilled crew members, facilities, and vendors. Back to having writers and production under one roof, and back with my family. These tax credit incentives are essential and good for California. It's a win-win. Good for production, good for California's economy.
I don't believe we can simply bury our heads in the sand and hope that the economy recovers. We've seen the success of the program so far, and I believe we need to aggressively take steps to bring the jobs back to California, and that's what this program does.